Today, this is going to be This Week in Comics. If you're new to this page, I love comic books. I love talking about comic book news. I love actually talking about the books themselves. We're going to talk about some of my favorites from last week. We're going to preview the books from this week. We're going to dive into the news surrounding adaptations around them, as well as at the end, bag and board some books. Very excited to do so. Hope you're doing well. The last month or so, we've started bagging and boarding, and it's become like a nice little fun highlight for me to get to share in some covers and looking at just the experience of the last couple months of comics. But we want to grow this page, so hit that subscription bell. We're approaching 40K. I read about 50 to 70 comics a week, and I give you my favorite 9. So it really means a lot to me that this page is growing, especially stuff based around comic books. Also cover movies and TV. About to do my big year-end wrap-up videos, my favorite movies of the year. Going to do my top 24 of 2024. My favorite 5 albums. I've decided to do some music. A lot of people ask me to do some music coverage, so I'm going to talk about my top 5 favorite albums as well as my 10 favorite comic runs of the year. So I'm very excited to dive into all of the above. And also a big thank you to all of you. This is the first week since the DC Studios showcase announcement, and that has been very, very positive. So if you found me over on Max and want to see what I have to say about comics, I'm here every single week right here talking about the stuff. So without further ado, let's talk about the news with let's do the Chris Evans news first. The Chris Evans news is interesting because it feels like kind of assumed, and I feel like it would have been gigantic news before Comic-Con. Now that we know kind of, Downey's back, we assume all cards are back on the table. I've been a pretty vocal, don't think it's the best idea to cast actors as variants if they're known for playing other roles. I think comics are very different. My cat has decided to join us. Hi, Spidey. I think that we, in comic books, have a different suspension of disbelief when it comes to the ability to perceive a character as, oh, that's an alternate reality. When we look at an actor like Chris Evans, we're going to see, man, that's the Chris Evans Captain America I've lived with for 15 years. Even Deadpool uses a joke, the assumption that he was Captain America. Now, Chris is a great actor, and I think that his Johnny Storm and his Captain America are very different roles. But, like the example of Downey Jr. playing Doom, I do think it doesn't serve the character of Dr. Doom. And I do worry about things like them, making the Tom Holland Spider-Man too big of a impact to Doom versus, the Fantastic Four. So I do think the variant thing is tricky. I personally think the arcs we got with Endgame are pretty perfect. The 3-act structure of a 23-film saga is insane. The fact that we got this perfect trio with the big 3 in Marvel with Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, having these 3 arcs that all kind of beautifully mirrored each other, as Iron Man went from selfish, a warmonger missile dealer, to selfless, sacrificing himself for the greater good and everyone he loves, with building a coat of armor around his world, which is, in this case, his daughter, Pepper. Like, I love that we got that self-ish to selfless, and then Captain America went from selfless to making a choice that was for him. He went from a man that didn't know how to live except for to serve to going home and getting his last dance and spending that time with Peggy, which he deserved. I love that journey. I love those arcs mirroring each other in opposite directions. And then Thor basically looking for self. He's a man who's lost self. He is someone who is so sure of himself, and now he's a man in search of self. And he's finding that through his child, and he's finding that in these adventures. But it's a man that had no doubts and is now a lot of doubts. So I love those 3 arcs. I don't know if it's good to underserve them by bringing them back. Because if you bring them back, then you basically have every element of those landings kind of, undone in their own way, which I don't think is I don't know, I don't love that. I don't think it's fair to the property itself for the sake of selling something, and I do get that it's show business to have the arcs undermined. I feel like it's the first time in a long time I feel like the business has won out over the show. in a scale that is kind of not able to be come back from. You know, like this isn't something that we can write around because those arcs are so perfect. And I don't care if you know it's a variant. If you see someone that is dead or has gotten very old and you see them young, you're going to associate that with the new version of the character. So it's really tricky for me. I would love to hear what you guys think. I just realized in this moment, 5 minutes into this live stream, this video was unlisted, so I've just made it public. So if you're just joining, we're talking about the Chris Evans news. We are talking all about soon the end of the Sony universe. We're going to be talking about all that, but this video was somehow both live and unlisted, which didn't help anybody. Luckily, I checked, and hopefully you're here now. All apologies to people watching the replay for me being on the computer seemingly. Had to get that done. What a bit of chaos. Last week, the sun set so early that I had to navigate what I was doing in real time. This week, we accidentally had a unlisted live stream. So, doing great. This is why I like working at studios, because I'm not good at running everything simultaneously. But hopefully you folks have found this now that it's not unlisted anymore. Yeah, it is a really tricky journey with show versus business, and I hope that the story warrants how good Downey Jr. is and how good Chris Evans is, and it doesn't feel like it's just for things to be shiny. That 3-act structure means a lot to me, and I don't know if there's a story that won't feel like a gimmick to bring them back. So Chris Evans coming back, I don't necessarily love as much as a lot of people do. I personally am a little more like, you know, I'm usually cautiously optimistic. In this case, I'm a little cautiously pessimistic, but I will obviously be there day one, excited to find out and be proven wrong. I would like very much to be proven wrong about both Downey's casting as Doom and about the return of Chris Evans, but it does seem like that is what is a cooking. Over on the Sony side, we got news this week that Kraven, which isn't out yet, which I'm seeing on Thursday, tomorrow, there will be an out-of-the-theater review up tomorrow night. Tonight at midnight, you get Creature Commandos, my episode 3 review. When that drops at midnight, my video will be up like, 12:30. And then tomorrow midday, I'm seeing Kraven. Expect an out-of-the-theater review tomorrow afternoon, probably 4 p.m. PST, so like 7 p.m. EST. Just completely raw thoughts out of the theater. And then Friday, a full spoiler review of Kraven right here on this page. But it is confirmed that, the Sony universe is done. It is no more. They did their Venom trilogy. That got to be completed. They did their Madam Web Morbius pair over those couple years. And now with Kraven will be the last Sony universe of Marvel characters film, apparently. So the fact that we never got a Sinister Six, we never got any of the payoff to post-credit scenes, we never got Spider-Man in this universe is a bummer. Because I, as you know, am someone who has defended some of the swings. I defended Madam Web up until I saw it. I had some really cool ideas of what I would have done with Madam Web. I thought there were some really inventive ideas of how to play with chronology and seeing the future and the totem idea and the web of life and all those things that could have tied this universe together, that could have tied it to the multiverse. Like the Madam Web character would be perfect to tie to the multiverse. Kraven, as an R-rated villain, is an interesting idea if he hunts hunters, if he hunts poachers. He loves animals. He hunts the most dangerous game, but he loves the honor of animals. He's always been an honorable character. Interesting stuff there, especially with Spider-Man maybe being seen as, a menace. So I thought there was a whole lot of potential for this to finally feel a bit more cohesive. Venom, I really wanted to fight Spider-Man at least once. I really wanted to see something happen there, but I'm curious now, with the Sony universe ending, does this pave the way for more Spider-Man in Marvel? Does this pave the way for Miles? Does this pave the way for a brand new universe at Sony? I've said it before and I'll say it again. I've worked with Sony a number of times, and I really, really love how much the people on the ground, like I don't know any of the executives, but the boots on the ground folk all around that Spider-Man team love the fan experience and what comic book fans feel, say, want, do. They are very invested. So I'm hoping we see some shifts, that maybe this, dominoes falling, that universe just couldn't be saved, we get something new. I'm really curious about some of the reports that we get, Spider-Man 4 having elements of whatever King in Black might be, but I don't know if they would tie anything to Venom 3 now that they're kind of scrapping the whole thing. So it's really interesting. I do think there is an element of hurry up and wait that caused the universe to be flawed. I do think they really didn't know where to land the thing, and I don't know if they'd want to reopen that can of worms in the MCU with a Spider-Man 4. So all those null rumors about Spider-Man 4, I don't know how true they are, especially now. All those Tom Hardy Venom rumors, obviously we saw didn't come to fruition, so I don't know how true any of that is now. I'm really curious if any of these characters somehow pop up in anything ever again, or if that's just it. But it is official. According to many reports from reputable sources, the SUMC, the Sony Universe of Marvel characters, is no more. I'm going to check on the chat real quick. I always hit every single super chat. Every super chat in Streamlab goes right to the house fund. It's become a theme on this show. I'm trying to buy, well, I want to buy a house just because I'm in my mid-30s and it's the American dream, or it was our young American dream. But I'm engaged, I'm getting married probably 2026, and all my comics are everywhere. So that's been kind of the running joke of, like, you know, building this. And I want to build a studio to film. So I'd actually get cameras. I'd actually set up lights instead of using natural light. But I can't do that because I film, this is my kitchen. And when I film the reviews, it's in my living room. So it has been a running conversation of the insanity of filming in LA. But I do so much in LA, I can't leave LA. Like, now that I'm at DC Studio Showcase, that's an LA-based thing. I do so many things with interviews and red carpets. I am here, but I want to expand more than a one-bedroom for me and my fiance. So every little bit is beyond appreciated because it goes towards an inevitable house. So I will check the live chat now. Hydra, Cap, and Avengers Sinister, I could see that. I think it's definitely, Chris Evans really enjoys playing the bad guy. Chris Evans really enjoys this dark side because he was so squeaky clean, like language, for so long. He's having a blast in Knives Out. He's having a blast in Deadpool. He's having a great time in Red One, which I will defend. He is definitely enjoying that thing. So I could see Hydra Cap, but it still would look like Cap. It's still the face of Chris Evans. So I don't love the idea. I think they should let him rest. But you're going to see Cap swear and be like, oh, it's Hydra. It's different in the film medium than a comic medium. You're going to see the undoing of a beautiful arc. And that bugs me. Monarch, sorry. That's a great name, Monarch. Hey, I'm prepared a little for Born Again. Do I have any Daredevil comic recommendations to start with? Trying to get the first appearance of Muse, but it seems pretty hard to get. That Charles Soule, Ron Garney run actually talked about quite a bit last week. I am a big fan of that run in its entirety. I would recommend any of that. I am going to be bagging more than this today. I actually haven't, and I'm not going to open this. This was an exclusive at New York Comic Con for people that were in the room for the Charlie Cox. The panel that was literally Frank Miller and legends of writing in comic books that had Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio's surprise appearance. But we all got one of these. I'll never know what this is because I'm never going to open it. But this is this beauty. But yeah, I would recommend those. I think the Charles Soule run is fantastic. I would recommend the Chip Zdarsky run. I would recommend the Frank Miller baseline of anything. Frank Miller's Daredevil is kind of the foundation of what adapted Daredevil is. So if you haven't read Frank Miller stuff, definitely recommend that. But Frank Miller, Chip Zdarsky, Charles Soule, Kevin Smith, any of that stuff, you're going to have a really good time. I do think it is a bit of a let's get the stockholders happy move as well. It doesn't make me happy, Scrappy Dojo, but, you know, here we are. We'll see what happens. The death of SPUM has been a long time coming. I'm going to step forward. Sony handing Spider-Man to the Rose Gallery to Disney. We'll see. I don't know if that end of universe actually does mean that, but I'm curious. It did seem like we were getting a mega renegotiation for Tom Holland. What does that mean? Does that universe ending mean anything? Like, I don't know. Indiana Jake saying Venom will be in Spidey 5. I don't know if they're even planning that far ahead, but we will see. We will see, Indiana Jake. Hey, Koi, sorry for off-topic DC question. Oh, dude, DC is always on topic. This is a comic book show. Any questions you got, I am here. Do you think we'll get Sangrel in Brave and the Bold? Oh, I see. I thought Sangrel in was. I was reading that as one thing. I think it would make sense to tie all of that in together with something involving Damian Wayne's origin, and we don't know Damian Wayne as well as many Robins, and I know we're getting a dynamic duo with, you know, Damian Wayne and Red Hood, but I think earlier in Brave and the Bold, if that happens first, we don't know what order things are coming out. We only know next few projects. Once we know what order it is, I think we'll have a better idea of how they're going to introduce Damian Wayne, how much backstory and all those things. So it could absolutely be a potential for that character to come in to the fold in movies and adaptations. I'd love a new Spider-Man. Honestly, a mixture of Hickman's Ultimate Spider-Man and J.M. DeMatteis' spectacular run. Liam Hemstock, I love both those runs very, very much. I don't think we're getting... I think Tom Holland's our Spidey for a while, and I think the next Spidey we get will be Miles. I mean, I'd love to see Hickman's run adapted with Andrew Garfield. That's what I want. But that doesn't seem likely either. But I can dream. Jason, hey Koi. Oh no, I answered that one. Hopefully this means Spider and MCU has less restrictions. The biggest issue with me is Sony Marvel stopping Venom, Kraven being against him. Sound's gone. Audio back at Hydra Cap. Okay, I apologize. Let's see what I was talking about then. You know, who knows? Who knows what I even said? I apologize. I was talking about Daredevil comics. Oh, Daredevil comics. Frank Miller, essential. Charles Soule run is Muse and excellent. Ron Garney art, some of my favorite. Chip Zdarsky run is exceptional. Kevin Smith art, those I think is what I was talking about. And then I said some more stuff, but that's the summation. People talking about Marvel Rivals. I hope you enjoy it. Christian Unpronounceable with a little something to help to the house. Thank you. It's so funny. LA is insane. But I do want to build a studio to do this more full-time. This month, December, I'm doing a video every single day, but two. I didn't do 2 videos the first week of December, but I looked at my schedule, and I'm doing some days are more than 2 video days. So there will be more than 30 videos this 31-day month. Today is obviously this live stream. Tonight at midnight or just after is going to be the incredible episode 3 of Creature Commandos. And then tomorrow is, well, depending on how you see that, but that is tomorrow. But that, as well as Kraven out of the theater, and then Friday, Kraven, Sunday, Doom Prophecy. It's just, there's so much stuff, you guys. And again, I'm going to be doing basically best of the year lists. So I'm going to be doing best comic book adaptations. So we'll do TV and film conversation. We'll do best movies. We're going to do best albums. I'm very excited for all of it. So thank you very much. Hopefully by 2027 or so, or maybe 2026, I can have a built studio and hopefully get a house so I can build something up more than this one bedroom. I appreciate it very, very much. Muse is an incredible character, Christian Unpronounceable. He is an invention of Charles Soule and Ron Garney, I think in like the second arc of their story, very early on into their arc, and he is trying to, he's inspired by murder and horrible things. He's got blood dripping out of his eyes, all white, and he's trying to inspire and be inspired by doing horrific things. He's very, very intense and very rad. I don't want to give too much away because there's a mystery element to the character, but very visually striking, very fascinating subject matter of his morals and code. I mentioned last week I was heading to a comic shop for the first time in the UK. Picked up the new Ultimate Spidey, and also just great to see a Silver Age covers in real life. Cinemaze, that makes me so very, very happy. Anytime you can get to a comic store, have the best time. I hope you did. That makes me happy. You're venturing forth. That is the goal of this show. That means the world to me. Thank you for sharing. I hope you had a good time. Whenever I get a Silver Age comic I need, I'm down to 24 Spideys, 25 Spideys I need every time. It is so like, oh my god, this is crazy. Good to see you, Dr. Nitrogen's Musical Empire. That's an amazing name. And again, apologies for the sound dropping out. Kendrick's GNX album wouldn't surprise me if he pulls a Tupac or DMX and puts out another album in less than 9 months. Wouldn't surprise me if he puts out an album in less than 2 months. I think we might get an album this week. Yeah, GNX may or may not be on that top 5 albums of the year list. I'm going to try to drop that. Today's the 11th, before the 25th, like between now and Christmas. In the next 2 weeks, I'm going to try to get some music stuff going. Let's dive into my favorite comics from last week, the week of December 4th. I will then preview the comics I'm most anticipating for the week of the 11th, this current day, today's new books. The first comic from last week that I loved most, Absolute Superman number 2. This is a brand new universe. It is a great jumping on point. You can never have read a comic in your life and understand what is going on in Absolute Universe. It is basically a modernization of these characters, but what's really cool is it's not just like an Elseworld. It is a complete rebrand, rebuild, re-everything, and it's an inversion of these characters. So, for example, Batman in Absolute Batman doesn't have his billions. He's blue collar. He's an everyman. So, what is Batman that is billions of dollars? And everything else is true to the character, but that huge shift changes everything. So Alfred's not a butler, and those elements. Wonder Woman, instead of being from Paradise Island, she is from hell, has a badass big sword, knows demons. It's awesome. Superman, who is known for being this beacon of light, is still a hero, but he is amongst the people. He is kind of an enemy of the peacemakers. He is a man on the run, helping out the underprivileged, and it's a fascinating take. All of them I really dig. I think Wonder Woman with the second issue became my favorite. So sorry, Spidey. He's sleeping on the bags. I was looking for them. Oh, I'm the worst cat dad ever. There we go. But I think with the second issue, Wonder Woman has become my favorite. Jason Aaron is killing it on this Superman run. So if you like Superman and you wanted a new take on the character, highly recommend this. Definitely think you'll dig it. All right, who's my number one? Deadpool or Spidey? Spider-Man. Man, oh man. Spider-Man is like how I learned to read. He will always be important to me. So Absolute, number two, highly, highly recommend. It is pretty amazing. All right, this is where I kept all of the images. Spidey is keeping the bags warm. I totally agree. The next on my favorites from this past week, the week of the 4th, have, for whatever reason, not loaded in this. Guys, I don't know why every week the world is challenging me, but it certainly is. My favorite next up is going to be Avengers number 21. Avengers number 21 is a very cool issue if you're a fan of the X-Men and a fan of the Avengers, because it feels like a fanfic in a very positive way. It is Avengers fighting the X-Men but playing baseball. It is finally a positive hang team up for these two titans of Marvel. And it's really cool to see them kind of like simpatico instead of just always fighting. But it starts with a great baseball game. It's very fun and charming. Avengers number 21, another favorite from last week. Next up, after that, we're going with Batman number 155. Batman 155 is a delight. It has really beautiful art and a very noir. I love the style that the art conveys, like a dark noir detective story, but it's not actually dark. Fornes does this great thing where there's enough darkness and enough silhouettes, but you can tell what's going on at all times. Sometimes noirs get a little muddled. It's written by Chip Zdarsky. It's a really cool story where Commissioner Gordon may or may not have murdered someone, and the world's greatest detective in Batman is trying to absolve his friend, but things don't look good. There's some really cool stuff going on behind the scenes with Enigma Tech. There's some really cool stuff with Wayne Tech. It is very, very fun. Highly recommend you checking out this current run of Batman. The all-in stuff with Batman only started 3 issues ago, so you are not very far behind. Next up, and then I'm going to get to this question. I saw a super chat come in as soon as I am as soon as I am with these 9 favorites from last week. I will be right back to you. There is a juggle going on. The next book I want to discuss is... Let's see. My number 3 of last week, the week of December 4th, is DC's Horror Presents number 2. This is a really cool book that is an anthology story, so you never have had to read a comic in your life. You just need to know, loosely who Batman is. But this particular issue is a horror book that deals with Batman's rogues, and it's a really, really cool story of the ventriloquist. And the ventriloquist is used in a way that is so inventive and so wonderful in this book. It actually made me like the character quite a bit more. I've always thought ventriloquist was usually used poorly. I always thought there was a lot more potential for the character, and this is the best I've seen ventriloquist used. The cover is not saved, I apologize, but DC Horror Presents is the next one, issue number 2. DC's Batman Smells Robin Laid an Egg is an amazing Christmas story. It is another of the anthology books out right now. Each little segment is a villain doing their own thing, and it is really cute, really charming. I love the art. I love the feel of the book. It is a really... It's a really cool way to feel the holiday season without having to read a lot of backstory. You could just pick up this issue by itself, get some really fun holiday hijinks in you. Batman is so tied to Christmas for me, whether it's Batman Returns, well, it's Batman the Animated Series. It's really cool to see a Christmas book. There's been a few, but a new one this year with an anthology story of The Dark Knight. Next up, we've got Deadpool and Wolverine Weapon Extraction. This is a multiversal tale. It is absolutely insane. It is pretty rad art. I really dig this art. It is a very kinetic book, lots of energy. Ryan North is my current favorite Fantastic Four writer. He's writing my favorite Fantastic Four story ever. He is so good at comedy, and it's funny because Fantastic Four is very differently funny than Deadpool, as you might imagine, but the way he writes Deadpool, the way he writes Wolverine dealing with Deadpool, if you liked the movie, if you like Ryan Reynolds' take on Deadpool, highly recommend you check out this Deadpool and Wolverine Weapon Extraction. It is one of my favorites from last week, and it is a book that has no continuity really tied to it. It helps if you've read Deadpool ever. There's some inside jokes, but overall, very approachable, very fun. Highly recommend. Next up is going to be another Christmas book from Batman. It is called Little Batman Month 1, Number 1. Number 2, sorry. Number 1 came out last week, and I missed it, so I read them both this week. Little Batman is based on the Merry Little Batman animated. Merry Little Batman is one of my favorite surprise hits of last year. It really impressed me. It came out of nowhere. It is wicked funny. It is Damian Wayne, but instead of being Robin, he is Batman, and it's such a cute Christmas movie. Here is Merry Little Batman, but this is Little Batman issue number 2 right here. So obviously a nod to the OG Batman cover, like the iconic. And it is Damian Wayne, but as Batman, trying to get through Bruce Wayne being kidnapped. It's wicked cute. It's funny. It's from the creator of the Merry Little Batman HBO special / movie. If you've seen that, you know how delightful that comedy is. Highly recommend you check it out. It was very much my jam. Really surprised me. Then in the world of holidays on the Marvel side, we have Marvel's Holiday Tales to Astonish. So the Tales to Astonish run is a great anthology series where you can discover a lot of new characters. In this Marvel's Holiday Tales to Astonish, you can find all sorts of goodness. It is a one-issue anthology, just like the DC one was as well. I also want to recommend Poison Ivy number 28. Poison Ivy is a character I love dearly that up until this G. Willow Wilson run, I didn't think had like a lot of solo adventures that felt recommendable. This book is sensational. This book has, from issue 1, been so consistent, so amazing. This issue is a great example of how good the world building to the team has been, because you care about all the characters as much as you care about her. So it's a really good example of world building. It's a really gripping story of eco-terrorist Poison Ivy, how she deals with what happens when there are actual eco-terrorists that admire her, and her being like, I'm a villain, but I don't agree with you doing this, and I do want to help people, and I'm conflicted, and all of the above. It's also got some really fun Killer Croc stuff going to places that I never expected. And then the final of my favorite books from last week is going to be X-Men issue number 8. Look at that cover. Look at that beauty. Ryan Stegman on art. Jed McKay, who's also writing on Avengers, just crushing this book. This is a attack on a prison where Beast has been imprisoned, and basically they're gonna bust him out. And it is such good Cyclops. It is such good tactical leader Cyclops with a beautiful new team. And then it collides with the other X-Men book, and I love when that happens, when the two X-Men books come together. It's really badass, really digging it. So the Uncanny X-Men book is Rogue's team, X-Men is Cyclops' team, and as you can see by the cover, boom, together. So those are my favorite 9 books from last week. I think I might have given you 10. Those are my favorite books from last week. Highly recommend you check out any of those. I'm going to jump into the Super Chat right now. We got 2 Super Chats. We got one from Mel, New York City Reviews. Mel, always good to see you. Always appreciate it. Hello, going off topic. I love the DC mystical universe. Zatanna fascinates me, and I love how powerful she is. Any comics of hers you can recommend I start with? Start with literally a book that came out, I think it just wrapped 2 weeks ago. Bringing Down the House is a DC Black Label book, and Black Label is an imprint within DC, but it's usually the more approachable stuff. It's also usually adult, but this one I don't think of as being very adult. It's really beautiful, clean art. Really great summation of her origin. I think it's 3 issues, it might be 4, and it is Really fun and punchy. It deals with a little bit of her history of Constantine. Constantine's one of my favorite characters in DC. I love John Constantine. One of my favorite comic characters, period. Hellblazer, love him. But Zatanna's always fascinated me because in the movies they give her, the animated DC movies are another great way to discover Zatanna. But they give her just enough story to pull you in, but not enough that you're like, I get her. And Bringing Down the House really, fleshes her out a little bit more, but there's such a mystery to Zatanna. I would recommend that. I would recommend either of the movies with her name in them. It's also a great way to discover John Constantine if you don't know him. And then go back to her comics I like her 90s stuff, but the recent stuff's probably more approachable. So yeah, Bringing Down the House and the animated stuff, highly recommend. We got another one from Zachary Schatzer. Hi Koi, I'm in the middle of reading the original Stan Lee and Jack Kirby X-Men comics. It's my first time fully reading Marvel Comics. How do you think it is compared to the other X-Men stories? It's very dated, but very good. It is the basis for everything. It's where it all started, so I really, really like it, but if I'd never read the Jack Kirby illustrated stuff, I'd be like, this is weird. If I'd never read Stan Lee in the 60s, I'd be like, that is some dated dialogue. But it's fun, it's very lean, it's very simple, it's got some beautiful metaphors, it's got some great themes. I really like what it has to say, but it is hard to go 60 years back, and it's like watching a movie from the 20s or 40s. It's a different era, so I think they're great stories, but I'd already loved the X-Men by the time I read those. I think the more modern stuff is more modern, so you might like it more or differently. Read the whole thing, though. If you're already there, have a great time. I think that it is the base. It is the foundation. It's how we got there. But if you want to read more modern stuff, Grant Morrison's New X-Men about 20 years ago was a great, not too modern, but really solid modernization of the characters. I love Joss Whedon's Astonishing X-Men. God Loves Man Kills is great. There's a lot of stuff out there, but Lee Kirby is a good time. I'm very, very stoked for you. Ash said, didn't love the first President's Heart, but really did the second one. I thought so too. Doombot Santa was amazing. I agree. Chris Fields, behind the stream because I'm at work and I wanted to send some love to the House Fund. Yes! Much, much appreciated. Thank you very, very much. House Fund shall grow. Every dollar is going to go to a studio because I want to get a 2-bedroom so I can make one a studio for all my stuff, but also so I can just set up lights and sound equipment and have a place to film. So thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. Zachary encouraging the time capsule. Yes. Mel liked my summation of Zatanna. I'm glad that translated. Yes. So thank you guys for the super chats. It really means a lot to me. Let's talk about the comics that are coming out today. I usually film these on Tuesday or Thursday. I finally had a chance to film one on a Wednesday, but it's thrown me off because I'm not used to actually getting you guys the info on the day of comic books. But today, we got some glorious new comic books. You can get any one of these at your local comic shop right now. In 30 days, you can get the DC books that I list here, so January 12th or so. You can get any of these DC books on the DC Universe Infinite app in 3 months. So in March, you can get any of these Marvel books on the Marvel app. You can get any of them today, right now, at your local comic shop. There's some Image, there's some Dynamite, there's some IDW, there's some Boom. Local comic shop, get after it. I'd recommend in alphabetical order from today. Action Comics number 1079, Alien Paradiso number 1, Amazing Spider-Man number 63, Batman Silent Night Returns number 3, that's a team up with Santa. Batman and Robin number 16, Batman Dark Patterns number 1, DC has been advertising that one heavy, I'm very curious about it. Black Lightning number 2, Blade Red Band number 2, I blended those two together because I wrote Blade Lightning, those are two different books, Black Lightning 2 and Blade Red Band 2. Dazzler number 4, DC vs. Vampires World War V number 5, Deadpool Team Up number 4, that is the final Deadpool story by Rob Liefeld. We've got Doll Parts, A Lovesick Tale number 1, that is a one-shot spin-off of a crazily dark, hypersexualized comic book called Lovesick that I dug. Gotham City Sirens number 1, Green Lantern number 18, Incredible Hulk number 20, Infinity Watch number 1, Laura Kinney Wolverine number 1. If you're a fan of X-23, get after that book. Miles Morales Spider-Man number 27, that came out last week, but they sold out, so I gotta get my copy. Minor Arcana number 4, great book from Jeff Lemire over at Boom Studios, really digging that vibe. Pet Pool Party number 1, Animals, Deadpool, get after it. We got Phoenix number 6, Scarlet Witch number 7, Spirits of Vengeance number 4, Storm number 3, really digging that solo book from Storm, and I love her. Superwoman Special number 1, Terminator number 3 from Declan Shalvey, love that man. Ultimate Universe 1 Year In number 1, getting a summation and a kind of a touch base with the Ultimate Universe. I'm very curious what that book is. Ultimate X-Men number 10, X-Men number 7, X Factor number 4, Nope, sorry, number 5. And Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 1. That is a prequel to the show coming out in January. So it's going to be in the show's continuity, and it's an issue 1. A great place to jump in. Those are the books I am most excited for. In the chat, Coy, do you collect any hardcover or omnibus formats for your comics? The only Sex Criminals I have in oversized, because I love Chip Zdarsky's Chaotic Energy saga. I have in the Ultimate Editions. Something is Killing the Children I have in hardcover. Animal Man I have in hardcover. Mr. Miracle I have an artist edition of. The rest, I'm generally a floppy guy. I like buying comics monthly. But I do have some that I've rebought as collections. If the art is something I love, if it's like a particularly, it's a story that I particularly love, I might rebuy it as a collection for the special features. But overall, I'm not really an omnibus or trade guy even. Like, a lot of people read in trades. My preference is weekly. I like diving into like a ton of comics. I told you about Deadpool Team Up number 4 coming out. This is number 2. Final Rob Liefeld Deadpool Journey. Dr. Nitrogen Musical. Just got around to reading the recent Berserker one-shots from a few months ago. The Lost Book of B and Face Full of Bullets. Amazing stuff. Any more, do you know, Coy? As of now, I don't think it's announced anymore. I know it's a character that, by the nature of the character, the whole goal is to have B appear in different pockets of time. I know that's the idea behind, hopefully, an eventual movie. So I do think more are coming. I know there are other writers that wanted to write B with Keanu. I love both of those. I forget what the name of Mattson Tomlin's was, but the Mattson Tomlin one-shot is my favorite Berserker story to date. Amazing Spider-Man with a beautiful cover by John Romita Jr. This is issue 58. This was a few months ago. I've been looking for this one. They got mixed in with the rest of my Amazing Spider-Man stack. Here's 57. As I said, it's all coming together. As we bag and board these every single week, it all gets a little closer. He's going to be getting a new computer soon. Yeah, guys, I ordered a computer for Black Friday. They sent me the wrong one. So this computer is from 2016. My computer is from 2015. My two computers are both a decade old. New computer came in and then was the wrong one. So I returned it and I'm getting another one on Friday. So, new computer Friday, and today I'm hopefully getting a brand new phone to have a microphone to go in. The base of my phone is so broken, I have to charge my phone with a wireless charger. So, obviously a microphone won't work if the base is broken. So, I've had to go micless, which is such a bummer. I apologize. I'm sorry. I thought it was best to do a stream versus no stream. Christian Unpronounceable, bringing the folks over from Break Room. I appreciate that very, very much. We got the Marvel 85th anniversary special. Got this at New York Comic Con. It's a big old celebration of 85 years of Marvel. We've also got Ultimates number 7. This came out last week. It didn't quite make the cut. I enjoyed this book, but those other 9 or 10 or however many I gave you, I thought I enjoyed a little bit more. But this title has been exceptional. I do highly, highly recommend it. Welcome, everybody. A Berserker movie would be amazing. Yeah, I do think that is a cooking. We talked about it on my Hall H panel with Keanu 3 years ago now. That was the first ever comic on the Hall H stage, which is still one of the great honors of my life. And I may or may not have sat down with Keanu yesterday via Zoom to talk Sonic 3, so you may or may not should keep an eye out on Real Reject's page in the coming weeks. Me, maybe him, maybe Idris Elba, maybe talking Sonic 3. It was pretty cool. Let's see. Hey, I'd be here even if Christian didn't remind me. So Shri gets extra brownie points. Amanda Doloff, hello. Rating from the Twitch stream. Yes, I appreciate that very, very much. Shri, thank you. Style's so serious. I appreciate the heads up. I never mean to sound ungrateful. I appreciate you letting me know. But yeah, computer is a decade old. Got a new one, and the phone is broken. So when all those powers combine, the stream is rough. Look at this beautiful cover, man. Look at that. Look at this House of Slaughter cover. So, the white masks, and this one's actually got a mask. That is so dope, man. Boom is so good at variants. I love their covers very, very much. That's Just Joe. Welcome. We'll definitely keep an eye out. Yes. Try to find that. I did a whole panel with Keanu 3 years ago. You can find it online, I think. And then, yeah, this week, Sonic 3, Idris, Keanu, your boy. It's a very fast interview. I had to get up at 5 a.m. for it because they're in London. But I love those guys, so it was really fun. Shriek, get some sleep. I appreciate you being here. Again, let's give that cover some love. Little House of Slaughter. We got another one right here. Thing O Beauty. This is House of Slaughter number 25. Nice anniversary issue with a nice stunning cover. I'm going to keep bagging and boarding and check on a few more of these. And then we're going to wrap out of here probably in about 10 minutes. Coy, I think that in 2025, things will be so good for you that you have an assistant wrapping your comics in brand new house and studio. Much gratitude for your enthusiasm. Thank you, Coy. I appreciate that, Mel. I appreciate that very much. It is definitely tricky. I'm really, really proud of the hard work I put in, and I'm really, really stoked at things about to change. But it's very hard going from like a beautiful soundstage and studio to a broken phone and a 10-year-old laptop trying to run a stream, because I really, really want to bring stuff to you guys every day. So I'm making do, and I appreciate your patience. I say that as gratitude for your patience. I know there are other streams, and I know there are other channels that have immaculate sound, and I know you could be watching those, and you guys being here means a lot. And know that I'm going to build this into a top-notch sound, lighting, everything. And in the meantime, I'm just throwing everything I can. I spent a good amount of money on the computer, and the next thing I'm doing is getting a phone. Those are the two easiest ingredients to make it exponentially better. And then down the line, once I save up enough money from doing YouTube, I will be upgrading everything else, mic, lights, all that stuff. But it is piece by piece. Laptop was the first piece, so I can edit again, and then we'll go from there. Another nice variant of House of Slaughter number 25. Break room is over. Lisa is here 100%. Yes. Jerry's Comics ask, what is my hype level for Fantastic Four on a scale of 1 to 10? All right, Jerry's Comics, I like this. Spidey Sensei, we don't need no stinking immaculate sounds. I'm working on it, but I appreciate that you don't need it. I appreciate that I bring enough zeal that it is tolerable, even as things are not as perfect. We are here for the content, Coy, not the fancy things. Save the money for the house. I appreciate that, Lisa. That means a lot. Look at this beautiful variant cover. I'm not avoiding you, Jerry's Comics. I'm thinking. Look at that. Look at that House of Slaughter number 25. I'm going to go 8. I am 8 out of 10 excited for Fantastic Four. I think the retrofuturism is really dope. I think it is a really good potential for a nice kind of, not reboot, but a soft reboot of excitement. Like, I think it's a big new property. We haven't, felt this excited for anything new in a while. I think Fox is, beloved, but having Marvel wield these characters, I think there's a lot of potential. I'm going to go 8 out of 10. I'm curious. Audience, everybody watching, let me know what you think in the chat. What is your out of 10 hype for Fantastic Four? Look at that. Boom. House of Slaughter. Thing of beauty. I'm genuinely curious. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to go ahead and bag and board this beauty right here. This New York Comic Con exclusive Daredevil Born Again comic. It's going to get tucked away. Christian Unpronounceable, I'm 10 because Feige's a 10. Lisa's at a 9. Indiana Jake also at an 8. Challenge at a 9. Kenson is at a 9. The Void Between, 9 out of 10. Spidey Sensei out of a 6 out of 10. That is a lower than I would have expected. I'm very curious about that. Ash, how do you feel about a book club leading up to new movies and TV shows? You give a reading suggestion related to a new release, and we all come back the week or two before and discuss it. I love that idea. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'll have time with any of this year's releases. There are literally 9 MCU properties. And that does include Spider-Man Noir, which also comes out next year. And then there's the glory that I'm so excited for of Superman, of Peacemaker Season 2. We get Creature Commandos conclusion of Season 1 next year. There's so much. That's 14 properties right there. There's Gen V next year. I'm going to be so slammed, I don't think I can reread stuff in time or make content out of it. It's a great idea. I would love to do it once I have everything established, but next year is going to be a building year. I literally got engaged this year and opted to not get married next year because of how busy I'm going to be next year. So I'm really just trying to build this channel up, do the things that are musts, like I'm going to do non-spoiler and reviews. I'm going to cover every single episode of those shows. And then once we hit like 100K and I can like not review every movie, then I'd love to add stuff like book clubs and everything else. I would love to do that. Let's see. Edie is at a 9. Jerry's Comics, mine's a 10, but those are my favorite characters from the comics, so I'm biased. Jerry, I respect that. I love the Fantastic Four. I don't love all the casting for like I like a lot of the casting, but I'm curious to be proven wrong about some of the casting. This Ultimates #4 is one of the best examples of multiversal stuff I've ever read. I had to read this comic twice. It's very dense, very rad. Highly recommend it. Ultimates #4. Also, this Venom War variant from New York Comic Con. I'm gonna put my Daredevil variant. I gotta sort all of this craziness. Hype levels 8.4 out of 10. Really love the idea of a Marvel movie, but a Marvel TV show would have given a lot of time for the characters to develop their own story. Yeah, I don't know if the budget would work long form for Fantastic Four. It's very expensive. Tony's at a 6. Zachary's at an 8. First trailer though, that's totally fair to see what the trailer's like. Spidey, I don't see Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, but I'll still go see the film in theaters. Then on the opposite side, Sean says, I love Pedro as Reed. Still not fully sold on Pedro, but I like him, so looking forward to seeing how he plays it. So, the chat is very torn on Pedro, leaning mostly positive. I respect that. That is where everybody's at. Deadpool team-up is ending soon. I said it's the Rob Liefeld's last story with Deadpool. This, right here, is the first issue, meaning I haven't bagged and boarded this stack in like 3 months. Deadpool team-up #1. Thing of beauty. I have so much. Now that I've bagged and boarded about half, I have so much sorting to do because I gotta, like, before I log them, put them in long boxes, put them away, which may be another video. Who knows what we might do. I've set to physically sort these into the alphabet. You might change your mind. Yeah, I'm very curious. People are excited. Lisa, you did really well building the channel, Koi. Just the other day, you were aiming for 5K. Now look, you almost at 40. Yeah. We've grown from, I think, when I restarted the page in April, we were at 22K. And when I started the page back after, like in the pandemic, the goal was 5. And then I came back and wanted 25 after I built it to 22. But 22 to 40 in, let's see, April to now, 8 months. So that's not bad. Like, we've almost doubled it in 8 months. My goal is to hit 40 by the end of the year. I'm doing 30 days of stuff. Like, I'm not missing any days until the end of the year, I think. I'm definitely not filming on Christmas Eve, so I'm not going to be covering, if I don't get screeners for, I'm enjoying the Skeleton Crew very much, but I cannot film on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. I'm very busy. And that's insane. So those will be January, but every day I've got something pre-filmed or scheduled to come out every day the rest of the year, so I'm hoping to grow to 40. I heard you don't like Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm. I don't really. I like Joseph Quinn as an actor. I do not see him as Johnny Storm personally, but he is a good enough actor. I'm so excited to be proven wrong. Just not the vibe of Johnny Storm to me. But again, I will see the movie, and I really, really trust the casting director. I love these covers by Marquez, man. Look at these. These are such classic X-Men covers. Like, this looks like the Claremont Burn era, where you just like are struck by the cover, you just stop and appreciate it. As a follow-up to an earlier message, would you be, as a follow-up to an earlier message, would you even want someone to do your bagging, or do you enjoy it? I definitely enjoy it, but it's like cooking. Actually, no, I like this way more than cooking. There are some things that get overwhelming when it's too much. I enjoy this process, but there's definitely times where I'm like, too many, and then I'm like, oh no, it's not fun anymore. Luckily, it is currently very fun. This is a crazy cover. Hello Darkness from Boom Studios. This issue 2 is legit haunting. Let's see. I see Joseph Quinn's Johnny and Tom Holland's Spidey working well together. I hope we get to see them become friends. Yeah, I know that's a lot of people's like baseline, and I just don't see him as a kind of a jockey movie star guy. Joseph Quinn's a very sweet drama boy to me. So I just don't see it working, but I am very excited to see. Look at that. Look at that cover. Thing of beauty. I got to send out some Christmas boxes. Have a good one, everyone. Peace. Mel, absolute pleasure as always. Good to see you. What if final season with Greg and Real Rejects? Yes, if they send screeners, we are definitely doing that. It comes out daily, the 22nd through New Year's. Greg and I are going to take a Christmas. We both are going insane and need a break. We've done so much this year. We both, like, that channel is growing rapidly, and mine has grown quite a bit, plus my DC stuff. I'm everywhere and I need a break. But if we get screeners, we are going to be covering it. However, if we don't get screeners, it might have to be January. Look at that. Look at that cover. Look at that manga-inspired beauty. So we will see. Time will tell, but I would like to. Wonder Woman is magic-ish. Yeah, there's that energy to it. I thank you, Christian. I need a break very, very much. This year flew by Jerry's Comics. Captain Hydra, Molecule Man, or another Human Torch variant. Patrick, those are interesting ideas. I don't think they put him as Molecule Man just because I hope we get like a new take. I know Chris Evans is enjoying playing bad guys and like unstable guys, but I really want a different actor in there. This Skull Crusher cover is really pretty. I'm just sharing. But yeah, we will see. Cersei as a villain in the Superman movie would explain the purple energy in the Superman photo. Yeah, I've seen that rumor pop around. I'm really curious how that moment takes place in Superman and like what it is teasing. I'm very excited. I'm with you in excitement. We will see. I heard Skull Crusher with the dope covers. Here is another. All right, I'm gonna do like 5 more, and then we're gonna wrap out of here. Any last questions you guys want to get in? I really appreciate everyone that got a super chat in there. As I said, I will always 100% get to these Streamlabs and super chats. It means a lot to me. You guys contribute anything, and you know these live shows are a fun way to connect with you guys. When I take it off unlisted, it helps people find it. But we got there. Luckily, I noticed mid-stream or 10 minutes into the stream, so we can do that. This is the regular cover of I Heart Skull Crusher #5. This is from Boom. Thank you, VRed24. Look at that. Look at that beauty. Quite your content and charisma is what we're here for. Major props for continuing on regardless of the presentation. You know what? I'm out here doing finger puppets and shadow work against a cave wall while other people have like, you know, dope ass cameras. And anyone in here, while you've got the whole internet at your fingertips, means a lot to me because I am just on an iPhone 13 and a pre-Intel MacBook. This MacBook is as old as some people watching, I'm sure. It's crazy. Yeah, this is Man's Best, also from Boom, issue #4. A really fun story of animals jettisoned into space. A really fun use of our love of animals in a really unique way. Oh, there was more Hello Darkness. I gotta pair these with the other ones. Hi from England, Coy. Congrats on the DC gig. Much deserved, my man. Check this out. I was in my attic yesterday and found my first editions, Born Again and Arkham Asylum graphic novel. Man, those are 2 amazing finds. Born Again is obviously an all-time, like, Frank Miller's Daredevil is like the foundation of how modern Daredevil exists. That's an all-time find. Great work. And I am a huge fan of Grant Morrison's Arkham stuff. That is really rad. I'm very jealous. Have I ever met Jenny Frisson at the cons out there? I love her art colors. I have not. I do not know everyone. I don't know that name. Maybe we've met, but I do not know her off the top of my head. Is Christmas my favorite holiday? My birthday is my favorite holiday. I am an absolute narcissist, and I love a week where I can celebrate that without feeling shame. Big old Christmas boy. But I do love Christmas. I'm a big family guy, and I really love people getting together to celebrate like holiday mirth and like have meals and gift giving. I love giving gifts. I love seeing people open stuff and like thinking about what they love. Yeah, I'm a big Christmas guy. Look at this cover. Oh, God, it's gorgeous. Look at that. I'm telling you, Boom. Some of the best variants in the game. Thing of beauty. Let's see. Arbor Day. Got some love from Arbor Day from Seattle KO. Jerry's Comics is a narcissist as well. That makes me feel good. Thank you, Jerry. I feel better about my very honest answer. It is the way of things. I'm a big fan of New Year's. I like the idea of having an anchor for a fresh start. I like the idea of setting intentions. I really like the idea of people making themselves better, and sometimes they can do that with having an anchor like a New Year's Day. So I'm a big New Year's guy. Those are the big ones. Birthday, Christmas, New Year's, Something is Killing the Children. Issue #40, smoke show of a cover. This is the regular cover. Every one of these issue 40 covers are just stunning, man. Erica Slaughter is such a cool new character. They've done such a good job, like, making this book just sing. My God. Christian Unpronounceable with the I'll take anything that gets me off work take. I respect it. Understand it. Guys, I have been bagging and boarding for half this stream, and more of you are here now than some mid-stream, and that makes me very, very happy. Look at this. Thing of beauty. I'm going to keep showing you guys some covers. We're going to go 4 more, and then we're going to boogie. Issue 39, I showed you guys 40. This is 39's regular cover. This is a variant of 39. JDH with the Something is Killing the Children love. Also respecting JDH using acronyms for name and SIK KTC for the Something's Killing the Children Love. The stream getting to work right now. Jerry, I'm so happy to hear that, man. There it is. And then issue 39's foil variant thing of beauty right here. Ba-ba. All right, we're doing 2 more books, and we are getting out of here. I hope the Something's Killing the Children series is good as well. I totally agree. Boom really loves their creators. They really take care of their people. I really think that'll translate to hiring the right people to take care of their books. I really don't doubt Boom ever. I truly think they would not make it unless they were sure. So I have a lot of faith in it. They're producing stuff like a film studio, but for comics, and I really think that's a cool, novel idea. They're greenlighting stuff in a really smart way. I think it's going to be great. Douglas McKinney, almost missed you, you lovely. Yes, good man. Good to see you, sir. Hope all is well. Look at this beauty. Look at this, Doug. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that variant. Number 39. Something's Killing the Children, number 39. Darth Vader is one of my favorite people in the game. This artist is killing it on so many books, and their variants are so dope. Look at that. Yes, Todd, get after it. Todd has all of the Ryan North Fantastic Four in his cart right now because of me. I'm telling you guys that Ryan North is quite the writer. His Deadpool and Wolverine I talked about at the top of the show. Highly recommend. His Fantastic Four is my favorite Fantastic Four of all time. Like 30 issues in, has cemented it as my favorite run. It's so good. Ash saying James Tynion on board as a producer, so he has high hopes. I agree. I do think James Tynion being involved. I always love when creators are actively involved. Totally with you. So yeah, so truly some of the best. This shall be the end of this journey. This final Something is Killing the Children cover. Thing, oh beauty, what a stunner. Look at that book right there. All right, that, I did talk about it. Oh, Douglas McKinney, you know me well. I did talk about Avengers vs. X-Men baseball. It is a lot like my show, Koicast, my podcast that I never think to plug. I've gotten a lot better at lately, though. I highly recommend you check out Koicast. We do a lot of fan casting. I mean, like versus casting. And there's some really cool stuff that literally feels like that issue. Also on our way out, some Penguin love. This Penguin issue. These are such good tie-ins to the show. It's not directly, but this is the tone of the show. It's Tom King Penguin stuff. DC's all in. We're going to talk about these more and more. We'll bag and board those next time, but we're going to end on those. I'm going to bag and board them when I see you lovelies next. If you're just joining now, we had a little surge. Head back to the top of this and know that there's like a 2-minute silent moment. We don't know why, but it is what it is. Spidey's right here. He loves you guys too. Very much appreciate you being here. If you're to this page, hit that subscription bell. If you like comics, if you care about comics, hit that subscription bell. Because we do lots of comic stuff here. And every single week, I bag and board and I discuss my 9 favorite comics from the week before. And I preview the comics out that week, as well as breaking down the comic book news in a comic book lens. Hope you guys had fun. There's like 100 of you in here, which means a lot to me. I appreciate it. I am going to get out of here. I will see you at CinemaCon next year, Jedi Mike. If all goes well, I will be there. I'm hoping to be there. Always a pleasure to see the OGs in here. It makes me so very happy. I truly would not have any of this without you guys clicking, sharing, commenting, just being you. It means a lot to me. And growing this page, this personal page, is crazy, and I appreciate you guys being here, even with the phone and a laptop from a decade ago, keeping me going. Thank you so very much. We'll see you guys next week latest. Stay tuned tonight at midnight, Creature Commandos episode 3. I'm dropping my review as soon as it ends. So Creature Commandos at midnight plus 30 is my review tonight. Tomorrow, mid-afternoon, 4 o'clock or so, the Kraven out of the theater first thoughts, completely raw out of the theater thoughts on Kraven tomorrow afternoon. So Creature Commandos in about 9 hours, and then in about 24 hours, you get your Kraven out of the theater, and then on Friday, Kraven full spoiler review, long form review, all of the stuff, talking Easter eggs, talking comic references, talking the whole movie with spoilers, and then on Sunday, Dune Prophecy, episode 5, and I don't know, maybe something Saturday, we'll see. I don't want to miss a day. I'm enjoying this run. Much love. We'll see you guys very soon. Subscribe, like, bye to Spidey, bye to y'all. I appreciate you. Whee!